Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my channel. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. This is the way it works. I was gonna walk around with playing my BlobFord tracks, but the audio jack keeps coming out. I gotta get a new wire for it. I didn't really have much to say about the ones that were playing anyways. They're pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about myself. I grew up on T-Bone. Very, very awesome place. It gets really, really hot in summer though. One year, my mom was like, we had to stay home from school because it was a heat wave. And what happened was, Kara and I had to stay home and sit in front of the fan all day. Mom had to work, which was sad because it was so hot. She was working at artistic packaging at the time, and she was doing puzzle boxes, I believe. She brought a couple home once, just for the artistic value. We had many, many pets over the course of my life. I don't remember Casey and Cleo all that much, but they were the first cats that I had. Well, not me personally, but our family had. Then we had Miley and Pai Chan, which I believe were brother and sister, and they gave birth to Kubla. Yeah, and then we kept Kubla out of the litter because he had one tooth that stuck up outside of his mouth. I still have some pictures of it. Over the course of time though, it fell out and he had very, very few teeth. He was a good friend of mine, Kubla. Miley was a very good friend too. She, like I said before, she didn't get very much attention from me, and I'm the only one that she liked, so she was very lonely all the time. I spend more time with Wolfie now than I ever spent with her. But then again, she never came up to me. She just always waited for me to come up to her. One time I was walking to go over to Stacy's house, and I could hear her up the driveway, like 100 feet away, meowing at me. I kind of snickered, but it's like, yeah, it's very sad. I didn't treat her very nice. I didn't treat her with very much affection, I mean. We used to rub noses, which was pretty fun. She was in pain a lot though. She had infected teeth. I think that's the reason why we put her down, because we couldn't get her teeth fixed. It was just too much money. Then we had Otis. Otis was a sweetheart. He liked the little dog, the bitch next door. He really fancied her. He'd sit there in the middle of winter, balls in the snow, sitting down, sitting there watching her house in case she ever came outside. He was a really smart dog. I taught him how to roll over in one lunch period when I was going to Bodley, I believe. Then we had Chaos. Chaos was a good pup. If I ever had kids at the time, I would have named the boy Chaos with a K, and the girl Serenity. Stacy didn't like that name, Chaos, so she told me to name the dog Chaos, and I did. And now babies are just out of the question for me. I'm not having kids. I might even get snipped if I ever have girlfriend. And I tell her up front, you know, I can't have kids. Anyways, let's see. We had Ricky when my dad was still alive. He was really, I don't know the word for it, but he'd pick out his feathers and he'd stare at himself in the mirror, shivering. I think he wanted to change himself to something he wanted to see in the mirror, because he must have thought it was beautiful. So he ripped out all the feathers in his stomach. He was constantly shivering all the time. He was a store bird, so they usually don't, they're not that friendly. They don't like hands very much, because kids always poke and prod at them, and, you know, they get abused. Just like when kids are doing, like, kid stuff, like trying to play, and birds just don't like that. If you ever get birds, I'd go with a hand-reared bird. We had Billy. I taught him how to knock, like, on the cage. I taught him how to go. He's the kind of bird that, like, you didn't need to come up to him. He just, like, come up to you. And unfortunately, I was at the door talking to Ashley next door, and he landed on my shoulder. I didn't think twice about it until he started to fly away, and he got away. Not fun. My mom was so devastated about that. We all loved Billy very, very much, but it was my fault, and I do tend to wreck things. I accidentally put 2 discs in Pa Steve's DVD player. I don't know how he did it, but I didn't know there was one in there already. I didn't see it. I wrecked it. There's the moon. Then there's the rats I had. Solomon was Kara's rat. She didn't want to take care of it anymore, so she laid it in my hands. It was an alright rat. Oh yeah, I also had a guinea pig. I forget what his name was now. But then I had Luna and Splinter on Murray Street. Splinter was a gray rat. Kind of looked like a sewer rat. He was a sweetheart, but Kalua, not to be confused with Kubla, I think scratched at him, and his eye got infected. He went blind in one eye. He ended up passing away. I think we did the humanitarian thing. I was told that if you put them in the freezer, they'll slowly fall asleep and die. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what happened. We did that. I mean, we were just trying to be humane about it, because I didn't have enough money to get them euthanized, and that was like the second best option I could see. I was told that it's painless for them because it's just so cold that they just fall asleep and die. Luna, she was a sweetheart. She was a tabby cat. These wicked yellow eyes. She was a bully to Kalua when we had him for a while. And then when I moved back into Ma's house on Brand Ave and Eastbourne,